G'day guys, how's it going? My name is Deadly Spark, and welcome back to World of Tanks. Yes, we're back. Hopefully not as horrific as the last time. I'm not going to be just playing in the one tank this time. I'm going to be playing I'll probably be playing a handful of tanks, but I'll be starting with the Comet today. One of my favourite tanks to play, but I'm still getting a hang of driving it. It's like kind of got to getting used to going from a slower heavy to a faster medium tank. I've got to get used to the different handling. I've had it for a while though, so maybe it's not good, but we'll see. There are some games are really good and some games are not. And also I'd like to bear in mind that my stats look shit, because they are shit, but like, yeah, truthfully, yeah, they're shit, but they're shit because when I used to play, I was very shit, and I'm better. I'm quite a bit better than I was before. I wouldn't say that I'm like good. I'd just say I'm like average. Jesus. But yeah, I guess here we go. What I like doing on this map, but it's very, very hit miss. So I'm going to see if it works this game or not, but I don't know if it will, because usually I lag a little bit more while recording. Well, I usually don't lag a lot when I regularly do it, but what I do is I usually go to D4, and especially I'm kind of glad that I've done a run to D4 now, because our scouts are doing nothing. Our scouts aren't even attempting to make a push in any sort of way whatsoever. And now now going into this position. Now, unfortunately, I've got the FB 304 on me, but going into this position, I've gotten rid of their two of their scouts, and I've also pushed up into a scouting position. By spotting those scouts is how I've gotten rid of them. But now I can go up here and spot, and usually I hope that light tanks do this sort of thing, but it usually doesn't happen. It's a risky spot to be in, but you can get spots like this on tanks, which then hopefully, if you've got destroyers on the hill, they can snipe in for you, or even like artillery for that matter.
Enemy armor is damaged. Penetration.
Here we go. Come on.
Enemy armor is damaged.
He's on. I was hoping that hitting him through there would keep him track. Now I'm spotted. That FB 304 is gonna have me for breakfast if I don't do anything. Shooting where I'm going. Pop out again, you're dead. See, like this spot, it's adventurous to be here, basically.
Enemy armor is hit. Enemy armor is hit. Fire, put it up.
Oh shit!
Our fuel tanks hit.
Now I've got to ask the question: was it worth it taking that shot?
Truck is hit. We're lucky it didn't blow.
Ah, I found him.
This vehicle has had it.
V34 guy. He snuck up behind me, but he died because of it. Oh shit! No, I didn't. Don't think I got spotting damage, but because being in this spot has forced a sort of advantage on our team, because I had a few of the enemies focusing on me, their scouts got taken out quickly. And then being here, I was able to almost completely take out that tank. And then by spotting it, I had it killed. I got shots in on that Jagdpanther who had to relocate because of where I was spotting him. And I also forced this IS-3 out into the open. And he got that one shot right into the back of my tank. And then died, like got absolutely smashed, I assume, because he only got one shot into me. And then he was dead. So by having him pop out there, I didn't spot him because he was obviously spotted on the way around. And they must have been artillery snipe or destroyer or, you know, whatever was like on the hill or moving up to this spot. And then unfortunately the FV304 again, as I was saying before, he was like dedicated to hitting me because he got me with like that last round. And now we're just cleaning up by the looks of it. All the other players here. I don't know about you, my friend. You don't look like you're in a good spot. Ooh, good job. We're a 45er as well, so close, but according to the game, we were supposed to lose this game. But we were able to do well. But yeah, that's a spot. Though you got to bear in mind that spot's very hit and miss. Like there are some days when you go through there and there's like a medium tank. Like I think that AMX CDC was actually trying to shoot at me and was missing a lot. So I could have easily been half health there already. But there have been times when I've gotten there half health and then just had a good game as well. But you gotta be aware of your tank's capabilities if you're gonna go for that spot. Like a Cromwell could get there easy. That's faster than a Comet, and most light tanks I reckon could get there very quickly. But then you have to beat your opposite number if you're a light tank, because there's usually light tanks going through. If you're a medium tank and there's no other medium tank, you can deal with one. But if there's like two or more, you can potentially get overwhelmed unless you're like obviously a good player that can read the situation and play out accordingly. So it's very hit and miss. I'd say depending on how good you think you are is whether or not you should do that or not just because other people have had good games there. I mean, this wasn't even a good game. Like I could go back to my tank and it's not even that good of a game for me. Ooh, that guy got shotgun. Oh, this guy's almost dead too. But I go back to my tank here, and I don't even feel like I've had that great of game. I had a great game spotting wise, yeah, but you know, you only get half credits and XP I think for spotting, but my damage is under 1,000. I like being above 1,000 each game I play, but usually I'm not, and it's annoying and frustrating, but what are you gonna do? Just noticed that it looked like the IS-3s didn't fire any bullets and got me. Because it usually says HE or AP or APCR, but it didn't. It was just a dash, like he didn't fire around. That's weird. What did I get? Where was I, experience-wise? See, look, told you, not a great game. People clearly did better. Like I got spotting's good, but it's not good unless you're a light tank, because you usually spot more. But yeah, fun game. Not too bad, but I wish I could have done a bit better. But you know, anyway, that's the Comet. Now let's move on to the FV4202. Used to be a tier 10, now is a tier 8 premium. I got it when it was a premium because I wanted a tier 8 premium so I could grind money. But yeah, let's see how we go. Into the battle we go. What are we on this time? Let's see. Ooh, I'm at the top and Secret Valley. Yes. I say yes, but then I remembered my track record on this map, and then I immediately go, oh shit. I've never been good on this map. I haven't played on this map as often as some other maps. I feel like this one comes up less in the rotation whenever I try and play. So I haven't got as many games clocked in on this map, so I don't know the best spots for my tank. Usually, like the last game I played in the Comet, I know the capabilities on my tank, and that I can rush D4 if I have a fast enough tank and get into a good spotting and shooting position. Because even from there, like, you can get quite a few shots off at other tanks if they're around that area, or flanking shots if there's not too many tanks in that area as well, and you can like push up, especially if you have like another tank that follows you there, and then you have a lot of versatility when it comes to that sort of position. However, like, if you are like on a map like this that I don't know, I'm like, where do I go in my tank? I mean, even for heavy tanks, I know where I tend to go. I tend to like, unless I spawn on the other side, I go to I think what would have been the top corner of the map, the top right corner of the map is where I usually go. And if I'm at the bottom right, I usually feel like I have to go bottom right. Though I know a few basics that help me with where to be in a tank. Like, in this tank, I feel like being up here is a good spot, but it doesn't tend to be ideal, because you don't usually block shots like that. See, usually I try and get in hull down positions. Oh no. I hate it when my game does this. Now I've got flanking shots in this guy. This tank destroyer made a huge error in judgment. He had a friend though, so I guess he didn't. But
The gunner's injured. He'll have a hard time hitting anything.
well, maybe he's not so stupid. He's got friends. Shit. I didn't think he was coming up this way. Oh, that's unfortunate. But now I'm in a hull down, so I'm happy. Hit by artillery.
We damaged them.
Get in a face fight with this guy. Nope. We just got overwhelmed on the flank.
Everyone, get out.
Almost got 1,000 damage too. Where's the Type 59? That T28 HTC, I guess maybe he didn't make an error in judgment. I think at first I thought, yeah, he's made an error in judgment, but then I noticed he had friends, so he just followed the lot. But he wasn't in an ideal spot. Like, he made an error of judgment to go forward with the medium tanks, basically. Shit, what happened there? KV 1, 2, 2. I haven't seen you before. Interesting. See something new every day. That's unfortunate. What was our percentage? We had a 63% chance to win this, and we still supposedly have a 62% chance to win this, and yet we're losing it. Though it appears that our capable players are proving their worth. I mean, I guess guess it's this tank's a bit OP, but he doesn't even look like he's been hit that much. So, doing well. Doing well, my friend. This guy looks like he's not in. Where's this guy doing? What's he? He hasn't got any kills, but he shoot that guy. That one. Oh, well, you don't have a shot anymore at him. You waited for a shot on him, and you could have had a shot on him, and now you have a shot on no one. You got punished. And this guy, where's this guy? And look at him block all the shots. Doesn't even have to think in this tank, I don't think. Ooh, who got him? Oh, it was a defender. And I have the VK 3001P. It's fun sometimes, but sometimes you just get hit and you get set on fire. I hate it. Or you just get like it's 50-50. I have fun, but not as much fun as I do with some other tier 6 tanks, like the KV2 or the TOG. They're fun. Like, you don't always win, but you know you have fun. As long as you have a good team. Though, usually the TOG I only play with 3 people, because playing a TOG on your own is stupid, because you get outflanked easy, and your fire rate is good. It's very good, but it's not. It doesn't always work in the situations you want it to work in. When you're like on your own, because you don't always get to the battle quick enough, your yellows die. But if you have three TOGs, then you have a massive fire rate, because you have the combined fast fire rate of 3 TOGs all firing, and if you focus fire targets, you just obliterate targets in seconds. Like, just gone. You just absolutely murder them in the TOG. And yeah, you'd never block a shot really, but that's not the fun in playing TOG. It's never been the fun of playing TOG. Playing TOG is it's almost about the stupidity of it. It's stupid, but if it's stupid but it works, because you can't really call it stupid, you know? Oh look, it's the hunt for the last guy. How long will this go for? Or how have you gone? You haven't had a good killing game. You've had a decent game. And these two, I'm not surprised, have had good games. This is probably an average game for them actually, you know, looking at their high scores. So, where is he? This guy, he looks like he's having a fairly alright game. Oh. Well, he's been spotted. He killed that guy, so he was spotted, so he was hit. So if we think about where he got hit from, actually now that I think about it, I think the British have high aiming arc, so he could still be over in that direction firing. But by the looks of where our guys are, he's probably over around here, because he was able to fire over this way without having to fire over that with ease. And now that he's like oh no, he's here. Well, I guess just shove the words away, because he was in the complete opposite end of the map. It just closed in on him. But the spot where is that? Like, I was assuming he was in a spot where the castle area wasn't in his way. Anyway, that's what I just assumed he was on the far end because of where everyone was on the, like, our guys were on the map. But alright game. Not great. Did better with a lower experience score, but not happy. Not as happy as I could have been. I feel like I made errors that I shouldn't have made. I feel like I should have been more aggressive at the top, instead of attacking the tank destroyer that I thought was being stupid. I should have focused more on what was in front of me and taking out them, because I ended up getting myself in a battle that wasn't suited to like what I was doing. Like, I was in a position where I was hulled down, but it was too steep even for the great gun depression that this tank has. It wasn't good enough to do the battle that I was trying to do. So I would have been better off, even in a worse position for the tank, fighting those tanks and clearing the flanks. So therefore we wouldn't have got flanked by them, because they ended up getting overwhelmed because I backed off. So it ended up being an unfair, uneven battle there, because I backed off to fight a different tank. Basically, I thought of getting damage on a guy and not actually endangering my tank, rather than trying to actually hold a flank and fight it out. Like, we could have gotten flanked anyway, but we had another tank back there, and we might have finished him beforehand and then had more tanks to fight coming back. But yeah, that's besides the point, I suppose. But you know, there's nothing really you can do about it. Yeah, let's move on to my Carnarvon. This tank I have played a lot. I don't tell him. I've played it a lot, but I don't for how long I've had it. I think I don't know. There's the one. If we go to battles, it's the one I've got the most battles with. I mean, I don't play as often as some people, and that's why like my stats aren't godlike. But like I look at my stats and I go, all my stuff is like with this tank is like yellow and just shy of, like, just above the, you know, bright red with the general tank. And I'm fairly good with this tank, and then you know you look at my win rate overall and that throws everything off, and it's like I'm again, this tank fairly good, like you know, average with this tank average, this tank average, and I'm fairly average with like all the tanks that I play a lot of, but my win rate isn't that great, and it frustrates me. Like, if this tank I was really good with, but like, oh, it's average, but like I felt like I was really good with it, but then I look at some and they're like, these tanks, there are some that are victories, and there's this tank that, oh, this tank I can't win with it. But I've played 2 battles and I haven't had a win with it, but every time I've played it, I feel like it's cursed. And I look at some tanks and I've played like shit in a lot of tanks, and there are a lot of the early tanks. Like, I was like really bad with some tanks. Oh man. But yeah, like I feel like I'm a lot better in some ways than my stats say. I mean, I'm average, but I feel like things are thrown off with this, because I'm fairly capable of battling. I've got a high hit ratio, so I almost always hit my targets when I shoot, and I've maximum 7 there, and I've got 6 mastery badges, but then like it's frustrating because like I'm capable of playing, but like a lot of early games where I wasn't that good, even winning with like winning some games with some of the early tanks, or even as I got into tier 6, I wasn't that good, so my average damage was shit. And now that I've started getting better and wanting to get like high damage scores, this is just looks shit, and this looks shit, and this looks shit. But I guess I've only played, you know, almost 5,000 games, so it's not as much as most. But that's enough rambling. Let's play the Carnarvon final battle today and see how we go. What map have we got today? I'm top tier again, 47% chance to win. Yeah, it's not too bad. Ooh, why is everything not... Oh, there it is, colour. 46 was 47. So, okay, so it's fairly close, You'd almost say it's even. Oh well, not quite top tier. I thought it said top tier before, but well, that's a pain in the ass. Freaking 2 of the 3 top tier tanks are Arties. That's bullshit. Well, this is gonna be fun. I know this tank has like an impenetrable top deck. But yeah, a lot of people. A lot of people don't like this tank. They think it's shit. Then there was one game I played where some guy in an IS-6 goes, "The Carnarvon's a shit tank," and then I played the game and did over 1,000 damage, and I finished in the top like 3 people, and he finished like way down the bottom. It's like, it's not the tank that's shit. It's the person driving the tank that isn't that great a lot of the time, because you can make something out of nothing so many times. Like, if you know how to use your tank, then you can use any tank to do well. Because I know with this tank, it's fairly decent hull down, because it's got a... I was backing off it just too slow. It's got a fairly good turret. Like, it's got the Action 10's turret. Who did I spot? But yeah, you can make something out of nothing. Like, in any tank, in any situation. Unless you're overwhelmed by tanks because everybody else backs off.
We've damaged them.
I couldn't do anything there. Everybody backed off. That defender was clever because he waited for me to fire before he popped out. But there was absolutely nothing I could have done there. This map isn't a great map for this tank, because this tank's strong features are the fact that it's got a strong turret, so it's good hull down, and this map doesn't really have any hull down spots, or at least not any big enough for a tank this size, like a heavy tank. Because the top of the tank right there is really bouncy when it comes to shots being fired at it. So being in a spot like this, fighting here, this is usually the spot to go, but I feel like we didn't have many great, like, well, not that we didn't have many great people, it's just while we were here, we had people that backed off while there are other people that were still fighting. And what that did was allow the enemy to focus fire the people that were fighting, and the people that backed off just got finished off later by the bunch. So that was the unfortunate thing about that, was because I kept fighting because I knew that I could take on that defender if he kept playing the way he was, which was pop out, expose his side, and pop back in, which allowed me to shoot him as well. And if I was able to track him, which is what I was hoping to do before I got overwhelmed, I could have kept firing into his side without him being able to shoot me, which is what I was hoping to do. And I knew I could take him on if we kept going and working as a team, because we were all firing at him. But then as people started backing off, going, "Oh shit, there's more people," they backed off instead of sticking the fight to him, which I guess I should have backed off, but I didn't realise everybody else had backed off until it was too late, basically. Which is, it's unfortunate, but I can understand why people backed off in hindsight anyway. But, well, that was a bit of a depressing way to finish everything. Win-win, loss. Typical, just because it was the last one. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, maybe leave a like down below, or subscribe. But you know, that's up to you. You don't have to enjoy the content. It's up for you to decide. But if you did enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up. You know, subscribe, and have a good one, everyone. See ya.